But this is going to be a show where we cover any topic under the sun, from God, church, morality, and whether or not we can actually get to Mars.
Yes.
And whether or not that's a crazy or is that a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Any other random thing that comes to mind, and we talk about it.
It's a great idea.
And we wrestle with it, and yeah.
Like Jacob wrestled with God.
Like Jacob wrestling with God, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about... Actually, I have 2 topics we can choose from.
Yes, both of them.
But you know what? I think we should... Let's do space. We haven't done space, actually.
Okay, let's talk about space. I would love to talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about the viability.
Let's do it.
You know, you know, Elon Musk is always trying to...
yes, I do.
Elon Musk is always trying to, get us to Mars and colonize it. You probably read a little bit more about it than I have.
Yes.
I feel like it's a ridiculous endeavor, and I think it's a total waste of money. So,
but it's his money, so who cares?
But what's the point?
Because what do you mean? What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point of going to Mars? Why should we colonize it?
Because
that's the question. That is the question, and that's what we're going to discuss right now. So why?
Okay. Well, here's why I believe that, and I don't have my laptop. That sucks because I could have started writing. I'm tripping over my words.
Pulling some stuff up.
Yeah, pulling my points up. My debates with myself.
Your debate points.
With myself. I'm the only person I debate. No, here's why I believe we should go to Mars. But I will clarify. Let me start from the beginning. I don't think we should go to Mars just yet. I think that it should be... Well, okay, here's what I mean. I think someone should be working on going to Mars. I think Elon Musk is doing a great job. I think it's important to travel to other parts of the universe to explore the grandeur of God. I know that's not why Elon Musk is necessarily going.
No.
Nor is any other scientist wanting to go for that reason. I personally, if I was in the position that Elon Musk was in, I would be going for that sole purpose. Because I want to know more about who God is.
Well, what's his reason for going to Mars?
His whole reasoning is to save civilization from itself. Well, at least from what I think I know, that's his whole purpose, right? So it's like, okay, well, humanity will probably end up killing itself with like nukes and stuff like that. So there should be a group of survivors somewhere else that is not on Earth that can colonize somewhere else and continue forward. My whole thought process behind going deeper into the universe, aside from arguing for God, is more so to just continue pushing civilization forward, going to other planets. I think there are more resources. There's more space for us to move around. Space, I get it. There's my dad joke for the day. But yeah, no, there's definitely, because there's more out there. Like how do we from a secular viewpoint, it makes sense to continue moving out into space. Because I'm about to burp. I'm drinking Sprite. There's like
Just FYI, never drink soda on a first date, or else you'll be burping in front of your date's face. Ha! Free advice for you guys.
Unless it's Sprite.
And girls.
Then.
Or else you're just going to be gassy in your stomach the whole time.
Well, that's me on a daily basis. No, I'm kidding.
That's my nickname back in
Joke's
high school.
on her. Yeah, that was my nickname back in high school. No, but I think that it makes sense from a secular standpoint because we're continuing to push the bounds of, first of all, technology and innovation. But then second of all, people are trying to find out why they exist. So I guess like to say, okay, that makes sense. Go continue outward, push civilization forward. Our children, our children's children, probably not our children, but, well, at least not my children. I don't think my children would, well, maybe my children would go into space. Your children, I don't know if your children would go into space. Possibly my children.
That doesn't make any sense. Why? Why wouldn't my children go into space?
Because they're too...
Because I wouldn't let them.
Because he hates God. I mean, he hates science.
I think we got plenty of space here.
Okay. Hey, hold on. Here's my whole first argument, though. So, yeah, do I agree with space from the get-go? Yes, I do. I agree going into it. But, and for the sole purpose of science as well, just figuring out what else is out there.
Well, how does going into space advance civilization?
There are more resources. There's more innovation. Like, in order to get to space, you have to be more innovative, which is going to actually help the technology that's here on Earth. Because in order to get to space, in order to travel at the speed of light, you have to come up with new innovations.
Has that helped anyone here on Earth?
Actually, so fire alarms, space travel, first reason it was created, right? Fire or smoke detectors were created for rockets and for the International Space Station. So yes, it kind of has helped us. I'm not saying there's more things that have helped us. Do I know everything off the top of my head? No, because I don't keep up with that.
Right.
But that is one thing that has helped in society's innovation. Now less people are dying because they know now, hey, there's a fire in my house. I don't know who doesn't know that, but I'm just saying that smoke alarms are just one aspect of innovation that has happened for specifically space that is now being used on Earth itself. So yeah, no, 100%. I think that there's a way to pursue advancements for civilization, not just for space travel, but for civilization. For example, creating like a Dyson sphere. Wow, this thing moves a lot. Creating a Dyson sphere around the sun, or Dyson. I forgot what the other word is. It's not necessarily a sphere, because some scientists have argued that spheres would not be as efficient. But having like Dyson structures, I guess is what it's called.
What's a Dyson sphere?
So a Dyson sphere is basically this. It's like this. It's like, let's say you have the sun. Let's say this is the sun. Wow, this is not going to work well. Shoot.
Is it a sort of analog type of calculator machinery?
No. It's this. So let's say this is the sun, if anyone can see it on here. This right here is the sun.
I think they might.
We'll put up a diagram.
Yeah.
And then, we'll do that. And then we have this little cap right here, which society creates. This is the Dyson sphere.
Okay.
Basically, you put it over the sun, around the sun, and it basically collects all of the energy, 100% of the energy from the sun. It collects all of it, and then you're able to use that energy for your civilization. So, yes, is it very science, sci-fi right
fiction?
now? Yeah, science
sci-fi
fiction right
plus
now.
fantasy.
Sci-fi right now, yes, 100%. Because it would take a lot of resources and manpower and the capability to actually be in space right now to do that.
Yeah.
No, we don't have the understanding of how to do it yet. Is there a possibility that it could happen? Oh, 100%. I believe so. 100% it could happen. With, again, advancements in technology. And I think that's why advancing further out into space.
Is technology just going to create more material for us? Because to create a ring around the sun, you're going to need
But I think that's another reason. That's another reason why we expand out into the universe, though, right?
Of resources.
Yeah, exactly. That's another reason why we expand out into the universe. I think you're making my argument for me here.
No,
I think you are. What?
No.
Miss Terry. Oh, is she calling me? All right.
Oh, yeah, we're back to the show.
Back to the podcast.
See, we also work for a church, so we got random stuff that comes up every once in a while. So anyway.
It's hard to do a podcast when you get interrupted like every
I know, and that's why we came over here.
Yeah.
Still didn't help.
What were we talking about? Dyson spheres.
Yeah, Dyson
so,
spheres.
yes. No, I know it would take a lot of resources, a lot of manpower, a lot of figuring out the physics of how it would work.
No,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think it proves my point when you say, yeah, we would need a lot of resources and stuff. That's the exact reason why we should move out into space, because we need more resources to
make a Dyson sphere.
Well, not just a Dyson sphere, but just to innovate, to have more technology, because who knows what else is out there, right? I think it's also just the desire, like the curiosity of what's out there.
I get the curiosity part, but
and what's wrong with going out there anyways? Like what? Because I know there's a lot of people who are like you, who are like, oh, let's not go.
It's like a waste of resources.
Is it though? It's a high risk, high reward thing, kind of, right?
Why go into space still?
What do you mean? I don't understand. I really don't get it.
No, I get that it's cool and that it's fun, but it's like
because there are more resources out in space too, though.
You know,
like in the asteroid belt itself, literally, we could be building. You know, it's difficult for us to find like graphics cards right now because everyone's buying them because there are so many, or there's so few of them out there because there's not enough gold or whatever.
Yeah,
resources to build it. You go out into space, boom, pretty much infinite resources are out there. I'm not saying infinite. Obviously, everything is finite, but infinite in the sense of with our population compared to what's out there in the universe. I mean, again, we could find potentially other civilizations.
We would need to be sending thousands of rockets a day in order to make even a dent and to get resources.
So that's why we start. That's why we start working on technology that can do that.
Again, we have a lot of resources here on Earth still.
But we're still running out of resources, though, because there's a finite amount.
Yeah, there's a finite amount, but like how finite is it? How many years are we talking?
If it's only a few million years of resources, like even if it's a few 100 million years of resources left, like that's not a lot in the grand scheme of the universe.
I think we're going to kill ourselves before then.
Possibly. But then that's another reason to move out of Earth.
depending how long this planet it's gonna survive. Like even just going back into my science days, like
Where'd you take science? Homeschooled. He was homeschooled.
Even the sun is running out. The sun is running out of
Yeah.
energy. It's not gonna last another million years.
For sure. Well, it'll last a million years, but the sun,
see.
yeah, sun is definitely gonna last a million years.
Here.
It's only in its like middle stage right now. There's still a lot
Let's
of time
see.
left on the sun.
Let's
I
see
think
what
it's
Google
like
says.
closer to
Oh gosh.
yeah. There's
Astronomers estimate that the sun has about 7 billion to 8 billion years left before it sputters out and dies, unless a big old asteroid decides to strike it
to strike
or
the
hit
sun.
us. Strike the sun or hit us.
It would not do anything to the sun, but it could cause maybe solar flares. But if it hit us, yeah, okay, we would die. But that's another reason why we should leave or create technology. Like moving out into space would give us maybe more resources to create technology that we haven't seen yet.
Okay. So my argument for why waste time going into space, right? I get the whole satellite part. I think that's awesome, sending satellites into space so we have more connectivity. But going to Mars, I'm still like, why?
Okay, here's a question. Why waste time doing anything? Like, why waste time having a family? Why waste time having...
You're conflating.
No. Why waste time doing anything? Like,
Huh?
why waste? Like, why do anything at all then?
Because having a family directly benefits society.
Who cares about society though? In the sense
What?
of like my point is like we're gonna live and we're gonna die.
Going to Mars and having a family are two different things.
But if you go to Mars to have a family,
That
what
doesn't-
difference does it make?
Because you're spending a big old amount of money to get to Mars.
But whose money is it? Elon Musk is not. Well, okay. Let me correct this. He has been using government subsidies for like Tesla and stuff like that. That's different. That's the only reason Tesla got off the ground in the first place. Like the reason it survived was government subsidies.
Okay.
SpaceX, I don't know if they've been using government subsidies, probably, but to a degree, because some of their clients, one of their clients is NASA. So yeah, to a degree, they've been using government subsidies in the sense that the American people are paying for rockets to be launched into space. Here's more Sprite gas. I'm a gaseous giant. I'm a gaseous giant. There you go. There's my dad joke for the day. My second one. Boom. And I made him laugh twice already. No, but technically he's using all private money. It's all his money that he's putting into it.
I'm not saying he can't use his money. I'm saying it's a waste.
Of just general resources like fuel and stuff.
Yeah, a waste of his money.
Who cares if he's wasting his money?
No, I obviously no one cares. I don't care what he does with it. I'm just saying it's a waste.
But why does it like what? How is it a waste though if he's gonna get a high reward from it, right? Like the high reward.
What's the high reward?
For example, I think most of these billionaires, some of their intention is to asteroid mine, which again would provide high resources, right? So they could sell that in return to society. So technically, it's not even a waste of money or even resources if they go and start mining asteroids or start mining on Mars or start mining on other planets that have minerals and resources that we can use back here on Earth. This is why he's a youth pastor.
This still doesn't make any sense to me. Colonize Mars. Why?
Do you want me to just say because it's awesome? Is that what you're looking for?
No.
I've already given you my answer.
Okay, so it's pretty much just a thrill ride.
Resources, innovation of technology, exploration.
Can you not innovate here?
You could, but you could also go out into space. Because like this is the thing, right? With exploration, what if there's something out there that we could use that will advance innovation by like 10 or 20 fold, even by just one fold? You know, like
Something out there in space?
that we find because we don't even know what's out there. We don't. What do you want me to say?
Like what? What are you thinking that's out there?
I don't know. I'm just saying that exploration leads to discovery. So you never know what's out there, right? I mean, we could find another civilization that's like, yeah, screw y'all. We're going to end every single one of you guys. And then it would be like pointless. It'd be like, okay, well, we just wasted all that time and now we're all dead. So let's throw them into our Dyson sphere. They'll be our slaves building our Dyson sphere.
Okay. So for me, and this is gonna sound kind of weird, but not really. I feel like if more resources were poured into just going to be a bleeding heart here. Like, let's say ending starvation, ending hunger, ending poverty here, and innovate towards that, right?
Right.
Like, if we're going to go anywhere in space, the whole human race has to be united in order to be even effective.
Right.
It's going to take more than just one Elon Musk
Yeah, absolutely.
doing this. So shouldn't we go towards that in
So,
unifying the world?
I'm really glad that you said that because I actually didn't clarify my first point. I didn't say it. I was going to say it, but I never did. No, I agree with you. I think that we should be focused on the world's problems first before going into space. And that's what I was going to say before I jumped into all this, but then I got distracted and I got really passionate for a second. No, but I agree with you 100%. Our planet should be the first focus, right? So if we can't even figure out how to clean up our world, or, you know, we have like terrorism and all these other things that are going on, all these other evils that are going on, and that doesn't end, it's just going to be carried on into the next society. But do I think that going to Mars is still a solid idea? Absolutely. I still think it is. I still think it's a great idea. But again, if we're not willing to solve the problems here on Earth first, it's just going to carry over into Mars and stuff like that, just from that standpoint. But from the standpoint of expanding civilization and moving forward, we should definitely be going into space. We should definitely be figuring out what's out there.
I'm still trying to figure out, how does that move civilization forward? I'm still not really getting that. How does that move civilization? And when you say forward, what do you mean by forward? Forward in what?
Just living, I guess. Just existing is really the only thing. I mean, because what else is there? From a secular standpoint, there is no forward. From an atheistic standpoint, where are you going to go?
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're talking, I guess, you know, from the secular viewpoint, what does progression look like? And from the Christian,
I'm not a secular, so I have no idea what that looks like.
And from the Christian standpoint, what does progress look like also?
Yeah, to me, it makes sense to go into space and learn more about what God has created. Figure that out. That'd be cool. I feel like it'd just be cool. That's my whole Christian. That's my Christian argument.
The whole reason.
That's my Christian argument.
The whole purpose of going into space. Why not?
Because we can.
Jumping out of airplane. Why not?
Why not discover? I think it's an interesting thing to just do it, right? People go to the depths of the ocean to figure out what's there because they want to understand, they want to learn, like what is there, you know? And then it's people like you and me who are sitting here on a podcast discussing. Well, I don't think they should go to space.
Discussing Dyson spheres.
Yeah, Dyson spheres are cool. Actually, I have my laptop's wallpaper is a Dyson. Well, not a Dyson sphere, but it's one of them is. So I have my desktop for my monitor at home, and that's a Dyson sphere. But
okay, so like, have you ever watched Star Trek?
A little bit. I didn't care too much for it.
Yeah, well, you should watch it.
Lost in Space is better.
Okay,
the new show, not the
because
old
the whole point about Star Trek though is that the premise is the reason why they're in space is because they were actually able to unify the entire world. That the whole world was unified and they were actually able to go into space,
which is never going to happen on our planet.
So I get that. Like, once we become unified here, yeah, why not make the Federation? Actually,
okay, wait, hold on.
Go into space.
I'm going to let you finish, but I want to talk about something else based off of that.
Before. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
You go for it. You finish.
So, like, if the world's around for like scientists are saying that the world's going to be around for about 7 billion years. Okay, I have a different take on how old the Earth is. I don't think the Earth is millions and billions of years old. I think it's kind of weird how secularist scientists can go back and forth like, oh, the world's like 5 billion years old. Oh, you know what? It's actually 7 billion years old. And we don't see it as a big deal. I feel like a margin of error, 2 billion years, that's a pretty big deal. To go back and forth, even 1 million years, it's a pretty big deal. To say, oh, we were off by 1 million years. Oh, but since the world is 7 billion years old, what's 1 million? So anyway, I
to a degree,
I don't think that the world is millions or billions of years old. I really believe that the Earth is between 6,000 to 10,000 years old. But anyway, this is with a very optimistic viewpoint that the world will still be here in 1 million years, let alone 1 billion years. Very optimistic viewpoint that we'll still be here. The chances of something hitting us, destroying us, I think just increases over time. And, it's just all going to be a big waste. Wow. I'm getting very nihilistic now. Anyway.
No. I'm glad you're bringing that up
Go from there.
because that's great. Because like the nihilistic standpoint, or not even the nihilistic, but the existentialist standpoint, has really been. I've thought a lot about space, specifically for the reason because I not really wanted to be an atheist. That's a bad phrasing, but I was debating atheism versus Christianity and whether or not following God was actually a good idea. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert in science. But I've done some small amounts of research on like the Higgs boson particle, which basically is like a particle that jumps in and out of existence. I think I might be so wrong. And the scientists are like, no, that's not it.
We'll put the Wikipedia link here.
Yeah. We'll
look it up.
That's not it, you idiot.
You said Higgs boson, right?
Higgs boson, yeah. So, I think it's a Higgs boson. It jumps in and out of existence, which there are arguments like that where I was hearing and I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Whatever. That's going to get super complex, and we don't have time to talk about that right now. But I was watching this one video by this great creator. Like, this person is an amazing artist at what they do. They're called Melody Sheep. I'll give them a shout out. Hopefully we don't get sued. But, I mean, I think, his videos are all agnostic, atheist kind of viewpoint when he creates his videos. But man, like I will tell you, when you watch his videos, you will be inspired to go into space yourself. You'll be like, I want to be an astronaut now, because his videos are really, really cool. He has all of his videos have millions of views on them. But the most recent one that I was watching was Life Beyond 3, which is basically his explanation or his ideas of how we could possibly find like life in the future.
Oh, okay.
Or how life could find us. But there's another video that he had originally, which I think was called a time lapse of the future. We'll have that video somewhere here, or we'll have a picture of it.
We'll do shout outs or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
But it's called a time lapse of the future. And I watched that video and it was very, existentialist. And I was like, wow, this is really weird as I think about it. So basically the entire video was like, okay, it shows like how civilization is progressing forward in the sense of surviving. And innovating in technology. And I think that's the main reason of the word or like the main definition of the word progression that people are using is advancement and innovation. So I don't think they're necessarily meaning it as like progression, like we're moving forward. Like what does that mean? It's more so just advancement in technology.
Okay. Yeah.
And survival of the human race.
Gotcha.
But they are moving forward as a civilization, advancing and whatnot. And you see the universe alongside of it, and the universe is kind of like dying out. It's slowly dying out. Yeah. And so it was really bothering me because I was like, this is really weird. Like, what's the point of life at all if this is like, if our end, Neil deGrasse Tyson is in that video, and he says, everyone thinks that the world or the universe will end in fire, but it's going to end in ice, where it's just meaning it's going to slowly just die down.
Yeah, and all energy is going to be dissipated.
Yeah, it's not going to end in explosion, right? And that's such a crazy thought to me because it's like, from a secular standpoint, there's no point to life. Yeah. Like, what is the point? Because we're literally just going to advance civilization forward to nothing. Like it's like, what is the point? So yeah, from that standpoint, 100%. And I'm glad that you brought up like unifying the world because I've thought a lot about this, and this goes back to a biblical principle that I'm thinking. Okay. Do I think that we'll ever get past Mars if we ever even go to Mars? Yeah. No, 100% not. We won't. Because I think God will come back before then. I think Christ will come back before then. And here's my thought process. Okay. So the world is not unified. We need it to be unified. Yeah. My thought, the only way that it can be unified is by a super powerful AI that can literally control all of mankind and be like, you do this, you do that, and it's like perfect in all of its ways, and it never makes a mistake, and it literally can do anything and everything. That, or Jesus comes back and does the same exact thing, but we have free will still, we can still worship him and stuff like that. Free will in the sense of, we're under his control.
Pretty much, we're going to turn into the Borg. If you know that reference.
No, I don't know that reference.
Okay, it's from Star Trek.
Okay.
Pretty much the Borg is this AI that assimilates every single creature into its hive mind, and everyone is connected to each other, and they advance to assimilating all civilizations that they come across.
See, that's genius. That's honestly genius. It sounds horrible, but if you want to advance civilization forward in an efficient way, everyone has to be on the same exact page.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying that everyone has to think the same way, like where you have everyone as engineers or you have everyone as like XYZ. Like I'm saying more so in the sense of like just philosophically speaking.
Yeah.
Everyone has to think the same way.
Yeah. So it's pretty much you have to be utilitarian and go, what is the most efficient way to advance forward the fastest into space, into unifying everything.
Right.
And so, I guess microchip everybody.
Yes. Pretty much. But my thought here is this. I feel like
You can make a movie from this.
Totally.
I feel like they have.
We're the Christian movie directors out there who are actually good. Anyways, so my thought here is this, right? With like Bitcoin and all these other currencies that are coming out, I feel like our world is moving towards unification, but it's going to be like a false sense of unification. And this is where the Antichrist is going to come in. Man, I'm about to get so conspiracy theory here. I'm so excited. Okay, the Antichrist will come in. Everyone will be following this, thinking that this is the road to perfection and the road to peace and the road to having everyone on the same mindset and the road to growth and whatever else. And it won't be. It'll be like this false sense of perfection, which will end up falling apart. Now, Christ will come back, right? And he will be perfect. And we'll follow him. And then that will give us the ability to end up exploring the depths of the universe. And so we'll be able to explore the universe.
Finally.
Obviously, Jesus already knows what's out there because he made everything.
Right.
But just to explore and understand who he is more, we'll be able to go out and explore the universe. And I think that's part of what we will be doing because it's a new heaven and new earth. I think everyone thinks that they're just going to stay in heaven.
Right.
That's not true.
Right. Yeah.
Bible says there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth, which means the earth is going to be brand new too. There's not going to be just heaven.
Right.
So we'll definitely be cultivating this.
Yeah. People have this weird classical image of what heaven is that, we're going to have angels' wings and we're going to be playing harps for all eternity. That sounds boring as heck.
That is boring.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to hell, some atheists say.
Yeah, that's why some people say I'd rather go to hell because heaven sounds boring. Yeah, heaven would sound boring if that was all that there is. But I'm pretty sure, like, God is so creative, right? What is he going to make heaven as boring as hell?
Yeah, is it going to be boring as hell? Is heaven going to be boring as hell?
So I'm pretty sure that's not the case, and we wouldn't have this creative drive to do that.
That was a dad joke that I thought was funny just now. That was funny.
Okay, that's good. So because when he created Adam and Eve, right, he said, hey, I've created this world. I want you to go around and subdue it. Yeah. Like, I want you to conquer this.
Sorry, this is stressful.
I know, it's poking you. But anyway, I think we got to close there. Because we're out of time now. But man, this was a interesting talk.
We should only talk about space.
Completely away from my comfort sphere. Actually, I prefer more philosophical talk than sci-fi talk. I still think the Dyson thing
is logical. I think we're going to be creating it when Jesus comes back.
Impossibility.
It's not an impossibility.
It's an impossibility.
It just takes time to think about how it works.
No, just think about it. It's literally its diameter has to be larger than the sun.
Heck yeah. Which will shift the
sun's diameter is larger than the diameter of all the planets in our universe combined.
It will shift the weight of the solar system.
How
but that's
much,
okay.
How many resources
it's okay.
would you need to have?
It's okay.
To create a Dyson sphere. You would have to reach outside of our universe.
Heck yeah. We created a Dyson sphere around the universe, collecting all the energy of all the galaxies.
Going to go into Iron Man here. Going to create a shield around the entire planet.
Or create a shield around the entire universe.
That's impossible too, by the way, Iron Man, unless it's like some sort of magnetic force field that's made out of energy rather than resources.
Bum, 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 bum. I'll be Iron Man.
Okay, I think we can end with that. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. And we should probably have some sort of ending here. We were going to do tea, but, maybe we should do some random drinks. So
here's a resource that we can't find on other planets.
The question is that vodka or is it water?
It's a resource that here's a hint. It's a resource that we can't find on other planets currently. But we should go check out those other planets to see if it's there. That's what we should do.
But it's both vodka and water.
It's actually Sprite.
We'll see you on the next podcast, guys. And if you have any suggestions for whatever topics we should cover, just comment down below And I will see y'all
That's
later.
it. Enjoy.
Peace out. This has been the Shane and Aaron
Shane
show.
Aaron. I'm first.
Yeah, rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah,
Shane
that's-
and Aaron show.
what can I
We'll
say?
see y'all later.
Just like Mars.
Bye.